Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to look at the 5 things you should consider before starting any renovation project. Let's get right into it. Number 1, to hire or to do it yourself. If you have the necessary skills and you're confident enough to carry on the project on your own or with the help of somebody else that you know, whether it's a family member or a colleague, then you may want to consider this route. If you do consider it, you should think about the necessary time that's involved, the amount of work that you're going to have to put in, and how you're going to deal with any problems that may inevitably occur. What you may save in labor costs may end up costing double, if not more, later on down the road, should you have to hire another contractor in order to fix any mistakes that you've made or other things that may have occurred. If there are certain items that you are capable of completing, for instance, maybe painting a wall, some trim, or other aesthetic improvements like that, then you should definitely try it out. On the other hand, hiring a contractor will ease the process. I find that a lot of times where a homeowner would want to try to do things themselves, we end up having to bring another contractor in to remedy any mistakes that homeowner may have made. Even though they were confident in their skills, it just wasn't up to par with what a professional contractor would be able to carry out. A professional contractor will bring expertise, the ability to obtain permits from the city, they'll be able to manage the trades properly, organize a proper schedule, so on and so forth. If you're also doing it yourself, you have to consider things like structural changes. Will you have to open up a load-bearing wall? Will you need to get certain permits for certain structural changes? Will you have to complete plumbing work or electrical work that will require a licensed electrician in order to carry out? Certain aspects of the project, you may want to consider hiring a contractor. If you do hire a contractor, on the other hand, make sure you get their credentials. Have they worked on similar projects before? What was their completion time? What was their budget like? Did they go over budget? Did they complete everything on time? Assess their capabilities properly. Ask friends and family if they've used this person before. Ask colleagues to maybe refer you to somebody that they've used before. This way it'll streamline the process in selecting a proper contractor for the job. Whether you decide to do it yourself or hire a contractor should be an informed decision. Do your research, weigh the pros and cons, and consider the complexity of your project. Be realistic about what you can handle. And most importantly, whatever path you choose, whether you want to do it yourself or hire a contractor, remember that proper planning and preparation are the key to any successful project. Number 2, get your finances in order. This is perhaps the most important point. Renovations can get costly and you don't want any financial surprises along the way. You have to have a clear picture of what you want, how much you want to spend, and how you're going to pay for it. The first thing and the most important is to create a budget, as detailed as you can. This will take a lot of guesswork out of what things will cost so you can better manage your financial expectations along the whole process. Once you create a detailed budget, you'll be able to add or remove items in order to get the numbers to where you're comfortable with. If it's a lot more than you can spend, then scale back, remove some items. If it's a lot less than what you can potentially spend and you want to add some items, add some more items. Just make sure that you're within your spending range. Also, it's a good idea to overestimate your budget by at least 10% because there will definitely be some unforeseen expenses that you're going to have to deal with along the way. Consider all aspects of your project: cost of materials, labor cost, any unexpected repairs that may come up. And again, add that contingency into your budget of 10% or more just to make sure that you cover all the unnecessary costs that may occur. The next step is plan, plan, plan. If you heard the saying, measure twice, cut once, planning is your best friend during a renovation project. But there's a catch. Once you have a plan, stick to it, as best you can anyway. Making quick decisions on the fly is not going to work later on down the road because you may have made a mistake, you didn't pick the right selections that you wanted to, things will be rushed, and you really don't want that to happen. You don't want any regrets down the road, and it will be costly to change those items a second time. Also, when planning, don't forget the fine details. Make sure that you've picked out all your selections ahead of time. Make sure you know all the lead times for items like cabinetry or windows and doors, which may take up to 8 or 10 weeks to produce. All your plumbing and electrical fixtures should be selected ahead of time, tiles, flooring, and the list goes on and on. The more prepared you are ahead of time, the better off you'll be. I would make a list of each room, design each room specifically for what fixtures are going to be installed in that room, and go step by step from there. Electrical layouts, plumbing layouts, HVAC layouts, get everything done to the best of your ability ahead of time. Plan it out all in advance. It'll save you time and money and a lot of headaches down the road. Consider creating a project timeline with milestone dates that need to be met. If you missed a date by a few days, that's okay. Get right back on track and keep going forward. Also, I would put a contingency in the planning and scheduling for unforeseen items like weather. Weather is a big factor in any renovation or building project and may negatively impact your schedule. There could potentially be days or even weeks of delay if the weather is severe enough, so take that into consideration as well. It's definitely a good idea to have a backup plan should any of that occur. Number 4, lead time. I mentioned briefly in the last point, it's a good idea to know how long things will take to produce. Cabinetry usually takes between 6 or even 12 weeks to produce and install. Tiles may be back ordered and may take months to get. So it's a good idea to check with all your suppliers or contractors to see what their schedule is, how long things will take to get produced and delivered to the site, and ultimately installed. Number 5, expect the unexpected. This one's all about managing your mindset during the renovation process. Not everything will go smoothly and as planned, and it's unrealistic to think that it will. It's unfortunate to have to say that, but it's true. I've been through so many renovations, a lot of build projects, nothing ever goes exactly as planned. When the unexpected happens, don't dwell on the problem. Find a solution and move forward. Ask a professional for advice on how to resolve a certain issue that may have occurred, and just get it done as quickly as possible. To dwell on something will negatively impact all aspects of your renovation project. This was a quick overview of the 5 things you should consider before starting any renovation project. Remember, it's not just about making your space beautiful, although that's a key factor. It's about a well thought out plan, a solid budget, patience, resilience, and preparing for the unexpected. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. It's greatly appreciated. And as always, if you have any suggestions or comments, leave them down below. Let me know your renovation story. How did it go? Did it go well? Did you have unexpected things that may have occurred? I'd love to know. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.